Hello everyone, and just having a little cheeky night out in Hebden Bridge. I'll reveal why shortly, but just wanted to share my thoughts with you. I was in the gym today, just having a 10-minute sauna, and somebody asked me what I do, and usually I don't have a problem with a question like that. I just say, I'm an accountant, and that usually kills the conversation stone dead. But I was kind of thinking, well, what do I call myself now? 'Cause I'm not working, as you know. I finished my last contract about 4 weeks ago, and even though I've been looking for a job, proving elusive. So I was kind of thinking, what do I say? Now, when you're a guy, I don't know if it's different for women. If it is, let me know in the comments. But when you're a guy and you meet another guy, you really quickly want to establish a pecking order. That whoever you're talking to wants to know whether you're more successful than them, got your life more sorted than them, or if you're just a loser. So basically, I've got the choice of saying I'm unemployed, or I'm an accountant, or I'm between contracts, or I could say I'm a retired accountant. Not I'm retired, but I'm a retired accountant. Now, that's going to take some getting my head round. Whether I've got to finally accept that, in the next 10 years of my life, if I do continue working, I'm not going to be working as an accountant. I'm going to be working as something else. So that could be a minimum wage job. As you know, I've applied to work at Marks and Spencer's. I've also applied to work as a tour guide. Now, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I only put my application in on Friday, and I think even if I am successful, that won't kind of kick in till kind of like spring, summer. But it's another something else that I could do. So in addition to my YouTube channel, a bit of part-time work at Marks and Spencer's, maybe working as a tour guide, maybe something else. It's you kind of have to think, how do you rebrand yourself? When somebody asks you what do you do, what do I say? Do I say I'm an accountant? Which I'm not. I'm not an accountant, and unless I get another job as an accountant, that isn't what I am. I'm gonna have to call myself a retired accountant. Now, it's kind of how you brand yourself, isn't it, when you're not working and you kind of like at our age and you kind of like coming to the end of your career. It's because that's a big mindset, isn't it? Preparing for the next stage in your life and saying, you're retired, or you're retired from this. Now, I've always believed that if you're going to retire, you retire from something and then retire to something. So I'm quite comfortable calling myself a retired accountant. What I'm not comfortable in doing is saying that I'm retired, because I'm not retired. I still want to work. And for me, retirement is just literally doing nothing. It's just literally getting out of bed when you want, going on holiday, literally not working. And I do want to continue working. Whatever I do, going forward, whatever I choose to do going forward, it will be, the reason I'll do it is for the money. I'm not interested in volunteering. I wouldn't necessarily call hobbies work. It's paid labour. So what I intend to do, if I'm no longer an accountant, is I want to work doing something else. So it's kind of like how you rebrand yourself, isn't it? When somebody asks you that $1 million question, what do you do? Particularly as a guy, it's quite a sensitive topic. It's kind of like, how would you describe yourself? So I think from now on, while I'm not working, I'm just going to say I'm a retired accountant. I'm not going to say I'm unemployed. I'm not going to say I'm between contracts, because realistically, if I don't get a job, as an accountant ever again, then my career as an accountant's over. I am a retired accountant, so I think I'm going to run with that, to be honest. Even though I am applying for jobs, and I do want to continue working as an accountant. I think for the time being, I'm kind of like getting my head around calling myself a retired accountant. And that specifically means that I've retired from being an accountant, but I'm not retired. That's an important distinction. I wouldn't class myself as being retired because I'm 56, and I've got another 15 years of work left inside me, whatever that looks like. Whether it's running a YouTube channel, whether it's working for Marks and Spencer's, being a tour guide, whatever. But I'm definitely comfortable saying that I've retired from being an accountant. I'm a retired accountant. I may get another job as an accountant. I don't know. I'm kind of getting my head round that not happening now, and I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to have to move on to another phase in my working life, whatever that looks like. But it's very much a case of retiring from something and then retiring to something. That's a theme that I've been exploring for quite a while now in some of my videos. You're right, mate. And so I think it's just about time that I kind of accepted that maybe my career as an accountant's over, and I'm now a retired accountant. I don't know. It's a bit of a funny one. I've just kind of like been having those ideas floating around my head for a few days. I just thought I'd kind of like put a video together just to see if that kind of resonates with how you feel. If you're at a certain time in your life, your career may be coming to an end by choice, or not by choice in my case. But either way, the reality is that I may no longer be able to call myself an accountant. If I can't get another role as an accountant, then I can't really call myself an accountant. I'm a retired accountant, and what my retirement looks like, what I'm going to retire to, I need to figure out. So just some thoughts. I don't know whether you've had similar thoughts about your career. If you've been out of work for a long period of time, would you still consider yourself to be that person that you've always been for the last 30 odd years, or would you describe yourself as being retired from that and you're now doing something else, whatever that looks like? Are you still in the mindset that you still want to get back into that industry that you worked in, or are you happy to accept that those days are possibly over and that you have to start looking for something else? So don't know, just some thoughts. I know it's a bit of an unusual subject to discuss, but I think it's quite important. I think it's something that a lot of people our age do go through, having to kind of like rebrand themselves, because when somebody asks you what you do, what do you say? Do I say I'm unemployed? I don't feel comfortable saying that, because I'm busy. I'm as busy as I've ever been. I've got my YouTube channel, I'm applying for jobs, not necessarily accounting jobs. Got all the problems I've got with my mum at the moment. I'm busy. I'm not just literally sat at home twiddling my thumbs, doing what to do with myself. My life is busy and it has purpose, but that purpose doesn't include being an accountant anymore. So yeah. So I think when people ask me, when I'm in the sauna at the gym, and next time somebody asks me, and I get into conversation with somebody, and they say to me, "What do you do?" I think I'm going to say I'm a retired accountant now. I'm not going to say I'm unemployed. I'm not going to say I'm an accountant, because I'm not. I'm not going to say I'm in between contracts, because the reality is that I may not get another contract. So yeah, just some thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. Whether you've been through a similar kind of journey in your head, kind of like thinking how you describe yourself now. Would you describe yourself as being retired, or been retired from what he did and now he retired to something else. You know, it's a whole theme, isn't it, of you know, what retirement is. You know, I think the traditional idea of retirement, you know, just getting your gold clock, putting your feet up, and then not working for the next 20 years. I think that's a misnomer. I think that's a bit of a red herring, because in reality, you know, nobody really wants to do that, do they? People want to retire to something, whether they're going to continue working and earning some kind of wage, or they're you know, they're just going to dedicate their life to hobbies and fill the time that way. So let me know your thoughts. Just a little video on you know, what I would call myself now that I'm not working. So you know, hope just, you know, if that resonates with you, that's a similar thought that you've had, let me know in the comments. But anyway, I'm going to head into the Hebden Bridge Picture House now, because I'm seeing a classic horror film called Nosferatu. So I'll just close the video off with some pictures of that. So stand by.